Tav Samach Beis Amud Beis will begin Samach Beis Amud Aleph, 6 lines from the bottom. Gufa Chatzer Shalai V'Kachom Herikadir Shal Behema. The Chatzer of an Kachom is not considered to be a significant residence. It's like a Dir Shal Behema, an animal stable. Umuter L'Hachlos L'Haitzi, and therefore it's mutter to take out, bring in, and take out from the house to the Chatzer. The house to the Chatzer to the house. So, as Mashal explains, what we're talking about over here is that if you have a Chatzer that the residents, the houses, are only of Kachavim, it's not considered to be a real dwelling, and therefore a visitor, somebody who is coming from outside, can take from the houses to the Chatzer and vice versa, from the Chatzer to the houses. Since it's not considered to be a significant residence, it's considered to be a dir shel behema, therefore a visitor can carry from the houses to the Chatzer and the Chatzer to the houses. But if there's even one yid in the Chatzer, who has a house in the Chatzer, that will aser. So that aser is carrying from the Avid Chom's house to the Chatzer, and from the Chatzer to his house. What about carrying from a Yid's house to the Chatzer? So we'll see the Gemara is going to define this shortly, more clearly. This is the Shita Div Ramer, a Ramer Shita. But Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov Aimer, he says, Lo elamena oiser achu shnei Yisrael oisem ze alze. In order to consider it a Chatzer that has a significant residence, it's not, doesn't answer, there's only one, a bias of Yisrael, there has to be at least two. If there's at least two, then it answers. So the Moor is now going to analyze this. It's like a dir shel behema that doesn't answer. I fact the Gemara. Tanan, we learned in our Mishnah, Hadar ima avir b'chatzer, if a person lives with an avir kachavim, with an avir kachom b'chatzer, hareza oiser alav, it answers on him. So you see that the bias of an akum is not considered a dir shel behema. It does answer on him. So who's the him that it answers on? So it answers on the Yisrael. The Yisrael is the one that's not allowed to carry. Now, where is it answering? To carry from which house? Is it answering to carry from the house of the akum, or to carry from the house even of the Yisrael? So the Marshal explains, since it says the Lashon of the Mishnah is Harei ze oiser alav, it doesn't say over there Harei ze oiser al beisai. If it would meant only the house of the Oivdik Chavim, it would say Harei ze oiser al beisai. It creates an iser to carry from the house of the akum, but it says oiser alav, which means it answers even carrying from the house of the Yisrael. So you see that it's not considered like a dir shel behema. It does create an iser to carry from the Yisrael's house to the Chatzer. More answers like Kasha. There's a difference if the Oivdik Chavim is present, if he's there on that Shabbos, or he's not there that Shabbos. If he's there on that Shabbos, so that's when our Mishnah says that if he lives with an Oivdik Chavim b'Chatzer, then there's an Isser to carry not only from the house of the Oivdik Chavim to the Chatzer, but from the house of the Yisrael as well. But when are we saying that? We say that it's considered to be a dir shel behema. The Brisa that says it's a dir shel behema, meaning to say that it is mutter to carry from the house of the Yisrael into the Chatzer. That is when the Oivdik Chavim is not there that Shabbos. He's not present there that Shabbos. And therefore, it's not considered to be a significant residence. And if he's not there, then it's mutter to carry from the house of the Yisrael to the Chatzer. Now the Gemara explains. So what does Ramer hold? If he holds that the residence is a residence, even if the owners are not present, then even an akum, even though he's not present, should be answered. And if he holds that if the Baalim, the owners, are not present, it's not considered a dira. Even if the Yisrael is not present, not there that Shabbos, it also shouldn't answer. That's not considered a dira. The Gemara says, "Lo oilam kasava dira b'loy baalim lo yishmei dira." Really, I'll tell you that a dira b'loy baalim is not a dira. It's not considered a dira. So why do we say that the Yisrael, it's also, even if he's not present there that Shabbos, the Yisrael, he is also by it, if he is there, it answers because that's considered to be a dira, and the yid is there, it restricts the chotzer. And you have to make an eruv, ki lesa goes birabanan. Even when he's not there, even if he's not there that Shabbos, the Rabbanan were geyser, because if you allow the carrying from the house, when he's not there, people will carry, we're afraid that they will carry even when he is there. And if he is there, then there is a requirement to be ma'ariv, because then it's considered a dira. It's a dira of significance, and you're required to be ma'ariv. So therefore, they were geyser even when he's not there, up to the case where he is there. But by an akum, really, it's not considered a dira. It's not considered to be that he has a dira there. It's also, why do we say that it's also that you have to be, you can't carry unless you rent your seicher mekayma? Why is that there iser over there? It's so that you don't learn from his ma'asim. But be'etzem, there's no requirement to have to be seicher makom, or be'etzem it really wouldn't answer on the yid. It's zaitik a type of iser of gzera shelo yilam in ma'asim, that he shouldn't learn from the shelo yilmad ma'asim, so he shouldn't learn from the actions of the akum. So ki isa, also when he's present, then you have the concern that yilmad ma'asim, that's also ki lasa loy aser. When he's not there, there's no iser. Frek the Gemara v'chi lasa loy aser. When he's not here, you mean to say that it's not aser? V'atanan, we learned in the Mishnah, if a person left his house and he went to make Shabbos in another city, even though they're not present, but nevertheless, they do aser. So you see that even if the akum is not present there, that Shabbos he asers. That's what Rameir says. More answers. That's talking in a case where he's close enough that to return on the same day. It's close enough that he can travel back and return on the same day. So if he does, we're concerned that he will be back there, he will return on the same day. And if you allow the carrying where the guy is there, people will allow, in general, carrying from the house when the guy is present. So it's only over there. But a Yisrael, we say it's also whether he's close by or not close by, whether he could return the same day or not. The Yisrael, whether he's there, present or not present, it asers. By an akum, it's only either if he's present or he's close by that he can return the same day. But if he's not present, then we say that he does not aser the Yisrael from carrying from the house of the Yisrael to the Chotzer. Amar of Yuramar Shmuel halacha ki Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. He says that the halacha is like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, that the akum only asers if there are at least two Yisrael, two Yidden living in the Chotzer. Rav Huna Amar minhag Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. He said that's the minhag. That's the minhag, but we don't darshan publicly, we don't teach publicly that the halacha is like Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. But Rav Yochanan Amar nogu ham Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. And he says nogu, it's not even taught privately. But if someone does follow Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, then we don't make him a chol. Then we don't object to it. So the different versions, if we teach it publicly, we teach it privately, or we don't teach it at all, just we don't make him a chol. Omar le'abal Rabbi Yosef Kaimlan, we have a Kabbalah that Mishnah of Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov Kavanaki, that the Mishnah of Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov is said in limited places, but it's naki, it's pure. He has the rayas for what he says, he has the svaras for what he says, and therefore we rely on it, it's authoritative. And Yehuda said in name Shmuel that the halacha is Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. So it seems to be very clear cut that that's the halacha. So Abaye had the following shayla: Ma'oloi roi b'malkum rabbi. Can one paskin like Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov? Could one teach that the halacha is like Rabbi ben Yaakov even in the place of his Rebbe? It's also to be moira halacha b'fnei rabbi. You can't paskin a halacha in front of your Rebbe or in the vicinity of your Rebbe. What about something which is as clear cut as this? Is this considered that he's paskening in front of his Rebbe? Amrlei, Rav Yosef told him, Afilo be'asa bekuscha, even something which is so clear cut and so obvious, like eating an egg with kutach. Kutach is a mixed with milk, and so the question is, the way Rashi learns it, it's the question: can you eat eggs with milk? And even something which is so obvious as that, one cannot paskin from your Rebbe. Boi minei me Rav Chisda kol shnei Rav Yuna v'lo yari. They asked Rav Chisda during the life of Rav Huna, which was his Rebbe, and he refused to answer that. So you see that something which is even more obvious, something which is so clear cut, like beya bekuscha, eggs with milk, with something that's made, the bekutach is made with bread and milk, with eggs with milk, even that you can't paskin in front of your Rebbe. This is Rashi's Pshat. Tosfos argues, and he says that this is something that even an Amma Aretz knows. That's something that's not considered to be a psak halacha. Something which everybody knows, which is obvious and clear cut, that's not even considered psak halacha. Something which is where you're paskin like Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, now even though that is a clear psak, but it's a psak. This, he says, is not even considered psak. So what is the shayla according to Tosfos? The case is talking where he shechted a chicken and there was complete eggs in the chicken. So do we consider that to be like an egg and it's mutter with milk, or is it considered like a chicken that it's talking when it was shechted? It wasn't laid yet. It was shechted, but it was gemuras. It was complete. That's the shayla. Is it considered like a beya? And is it considered mutter with milk or not? And even that, it's not such a davar pashut, because Tosfos speaks out that l'gabe nevela we answer it. Over here, since the isra of oif with cholav is darabanan, here we're mekel and say it's mutter. But that's the shayla according to the way Tosfos is learning. What about something which is written in the Megillas Tanis? It's written and readily available to anyone. Just go in and check it. Can you paskin in front of your Rebbe, before your Rebbe? So the way Rashi learns it is Megillas Tanis, that it lists the days that are also in Tanis. So it lists the days. Now it's listed in the Megillah. You can go ahead and read it. Can you paskin? Can you instruct somebody? If you ask the shayla, is today mutter? Is it also letanis? Is today also letanis? Can you instruct them? Tosfos argues on Rashi because afrushim yisura. If we're talking about that, something that is to be mafish a person from iser, to prevent him from doing an iser, you are allowed to paskin in front of your Rebbe. So over here, if you're telling me about the case, talking about the days that it's also to fast, well, that if a person asks, is it mutter to fast over here, you could tell him that it's also because it's lafrisha misura. So rather, Tosfos, the case is that it's the days that it's mutter, that not the days that it's also. That it's talking about if today is mutter b'tanis, so it's not lafrisha misura, and that's the shayla, that's the question. So is that considered paskin in front of your Rebbe? So he said, Amrlei by answered, Rav Yosef, Rav Yosef, Afilo be'asa bekuscha, boy minei Rav Chisda kol shnei Rav Huna v'lo yari, he refused to paskin on it. So even something that's clear cut, you cannot paskin in front of your Rebbe. Rav Chisda er b'kafrim shnei Rav Huna. Rav Chisda paskin in the city, in the town of Kafri, during the life of Rav Huna. And he didn't refrain from doing that. Why is that? Because the Rav Huna is, and this is in a different location. It's not considered to be in the same location. So you cannot paskin in front of your Rebbe. It's in the vicinity of your Rebbe. But over here, it's not considered to be the same location. Tosfos gives another reason as well, because he was not considered to be a Talmud Muvhak of Rav Huna. So that's another reason why he said it was mutter. Rav Hamnuna oyer b'Charas Da'arges. Rav Hamnuna paskined in the city of Charas Da'arges b'Shnei Rav Chisda, in the lifetime of Rav Chisda as Rebbe, again because it was considered a different vicinity. Ravina sar sakina b'Bava. Ravina inspected a knife that they used for shechting. He inspected to see if there was no nick in it, that if there was no pagam in it, and he checked that in Bavel, even though Rav Ashi, his Rebbe, was alive. Amarle Rav Ashi, my tamav and marachi. So he asked him, why did you do that? Amarle Rav Nuna or Bechar Sadari of Shnei Rav Chisda. Well, I have a precedent because Rav Huna paskined in the town of Chartadargis in the life of Rav Chisda. Amar le lav itma. No, the correct version is he did not paskin. He did not paskin in front of him. Amar le itmar or vitmar loyari. Ravina said there are two versions. There's a version that he did paskin and the version that he did not paskin. Bishnei the Rav Huna Rabbi Udeloyar. Where is it that he did not paskin? That's in the lifetime of Rav Huna, his Rebbe. Va'oyer Bishnei the Rav Chisda, but he did paskin during the lifetime of Rav Chisda. Why is that? Because Rav Huna was his Rebbe, so he did not paskin Rav Huna's lifetime. But Rav Chisda was the Talmud Chaver Dilehu, was the Talmud Chaver, was not a Rebbe. He was a Talmud Chaver. And he said, I'm also a Talmud Chaver. I'm a Talmud Chaver of yours, and therefore I am entitled to paskin. So therefore he said it's not considered to be disrespectful, it's not an Isser, because I'm a Talmud Chaver, and the Isser is only on a Talmud Gomer.